lost continent of Atlantis hidden in plain sight. This is the location of it. They call it Great Adria, so they don't use the word Atlantis, but this seems to be it. The new Atlantis spotted buried off southern Europe's Mediterranean coast. Sputnik News. This is the latest location. Yet another. There's, at least 100 locations worldwide claimed to be underwater Atlantis. What about this one? This is in the area of the supposed Greater Adria, the lost continent that was found to be under most of southern Europe, all the mountains of southern Europe. Italy, Greece, Portugal, Spain, France are supposed to be remnants of, especially in Greece, remnants of the lost continent, Greater Adria. This Greater Adria continent was spotted following decades of research, as scientists have been armed with the most advanced software, enabling them to peel off the tectonic plate layers to learn for sure when and where this geological phenomenon occurred. The lost continent, now deep under the wonderful azure blue Mediterranean waters. It's very light blue because of the limestone underneath, makes it look very light. Researchers have stumbled upon another lost continent shortly after the same name was scrapped with regard to the famed Atlantis. Scientists from the University of Utrecht, Oslo, Zurich, various universities gave special names to the new find, and they called it, instead of Atlantis, they called it the Greater Adria, which is the size of Greenland, which is huge, by the way, with their findings outlined in the journal Gondwana Research. According to the lead investigator, Professor Doan van Hinsbergen, the fact that the region is geologically diverse, or rather a mess, as he puts it, complicated the researchers' efforts to reconstruct the ocean bottom in the area, including the flagging of geological objects that evolved over the past 240 million years. To study the evolution of the region, where everything is curved, broken, and stacked, the research group first collected and then analyzed data from 2,300 paleomagnetic sites over 30 countries with cutting-edge tectonic plates and reconstruction software. Now you may want to see the recent videos I just did today having to do with the Mediterranean Sea and the rising of the area of Gibraltar, the uplift of Earth after the Earth's crust was made lighter, and it came up and caused a land bridge going across the area of Gibraltar. That caused the Mediterranean Sea to dry up like a dry lake bed, and about 170,000, this was about 5 million years ago, and then 170,000 years after that happened, something happened in the area causing the Atlantic Ocean waters to come and cut and flood through that bridge of Gibraltar, refilling the Mediterranean basin with salt water again, and giving it life because it had dried up and died, and also leaving a channel, like an opening from then on in the Straits of Gibraltar. At one point, in the past, I heard that also happened to the Black Sea. That's why the Black Sea today is actually salt. So, salt water. It could be that that water also flooded into the Black Sea area as well. Now, we're talking about the Mediterranean and the Greater Adria. So, it could have been Atlantis. It's pretty close to the island of Rhodes. The island of Rhodes is towards the east of the Mediterranean, towards Turkey. Rhodes is a part of one of the Greek islands, is part of the Aegean Sea. And we have stories of that island also bopping up and down during earth changes, and then it stayed up, whereas Atlantis stayed down and sunken. Now, this latter having to do with Greater Adria, the study of the evolution of the region, where everything was curved, broken, and stacked. The research group first collected and then analyzed the data from over 2,300 paleomagnetic sites, over 30 countries, and they used cutting-edge tectonic plate reconstruction software. And the latter enabled the Hinsbergen-led team to use fault line and magnetism data to effectively separate the layers, dating back to the Triassic period, the time when the newly discovered entity split from the supercontinent Gondwana. Van Hinsberg said, "The only remaining part of this continent is a strip that runs from Turin, that's in Italy, via the Adriatic Sea to the heel of the boot that forms Italy." That's the only remaining part of the continent that they found. Now, most of the greater Adria was covered in water, with shallow seas containing deposited sediment like coral reefs, with some of it still visible in the form of Apennine mountain belts, the Balkans, and parts of the Alps, as well as fragments of Greece and Turkey. The sedimentary rocks were then leveled down, leaving mountain ranges across the regions as deformed remnants, indicating that there had once been a continent there. The said software has opened up horizons for further studies of volcanism and earthquakes, enabling researchers to even predict what the area would look like in the far future, let alone mapping ore deposits from Greater Adria. The beginning of the end for Greater Adria occurred some 100 million years ago, when two surrounding tectonic plates started moving. The one of them came into contact with what is now southern Europe. The collision of forced it to submerge into the Earth's mantle, with only small fragments remaining above ground level, and those are the mountains, as we said, the Alps, Italy, Greece, and Turkey. Now, this is Greater Adria, as you can see. It's above, that is north of the African continent. It's not joined to it, but it's close to it. And the Tethys Sea, the Tethys Ocean, which is today's Mediterranean Sea, is basically split in half. It's the one just underneath south of Greater Adria towards Africa, and the other northern portion, which is towards Eurasia. And that is the area that has been pounded by the subduction of the African plate under the Eurasian, and Greater Adria sunken underneath and also becoming crashed into the mountains of Italy and Greece and southern Turkey and the Asian part of Turkey. Now, I'll read parts of the Greek article trying to translate it to you. 100 to 120 million years ago, it broke in pieces and it sunk. Then it was not a part of the African plate, because the ocean was separating it into a part above northern Africa, the Tethys Sea, that is. The remnants of it are believed to be spread throughout 30 countries, even Greece, from Spain all the way to the Alps, all the way over Greece and Turkey, all the way to Iran. And until lately, the geologists who studied the research and reconstructed the remnants of Adria, Greater Adria, said it was an area of great chaos, geological chaos. So this is it, basically. The parts of Adria, Greater Adria, are to be found in depth of 1,500 kilometers underneath the surface of the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, that's basically a brief of what I just translated for you. So this is amazing. That's wonderful. This is very logical. So it's hidden in plain sight. As we said, this must have been Atlantis, It was close to Greece. It was they were having tremendous difficulties and clashes with the Greeks, the Hellenes, and also was close to the island of Rhodes, which sunk but also resurfaced. Where is the island of Rhodes today? Where you see that letter saying "C" there, just go up about 2 o'clock, and there's that diagonal little thing. That's the island of Rhodes. It's pretty big. It's beautiful. Most of it is not even populated. It's just the northern part towards Turkey that has a lot of the cities and towns and villages. That's been there since whenever, way back in Greek history. And that is one of the islands that they said kept on bobbing up and down during the great earth changes and subduction of Atlantis. And Atlantis stayed down, subducted, whereas Rhodes reappeared and is there to be found today. A beautiful island, by the way. So this is fantastic. That makes a lot of sense. I'll leave links below for you for this. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.